What's up, ladies and gents? Got a good one today. Such a weird, good flavor. Yo, times are tough right now, especially for this younger generation who's just getting started, may not be at that high income level of your career just yet. You're still getting everything figured out. You're starting life. You're coming into the new world and you're like, holy shit, why is everything so expensive? And this isn't the norm. Usually I remember when I came into the real world in 2014, it was not like this. It wasn't this expensive. So right now what we got going on is absolutely insane. But what we are going to do today is we are going to hear from some people and their thoughts on this current state of the economy and what all we have going on. And I pulled a couple videos for TikTok that I thought would be pretty interesting to dive into, to get the thoughts of the everyday American. Let's jump into it, see what they got to say.
This is what I'm struggling with in America right now in my 20s. Why is everything so expensive? Why am I making more money waitressing than I would make using my college degree? I barely have a life. I have 2 days off.
That's something that is crazy right now is a lot of these younger individuals, went to college for a 4 or 5 year degree. And I keep seeing this a lot. A lot of people aren't even using their degrees. They're not even using it. They're, bartending. They're bartending. They're being a waitress or a waiter or doing something completely irrelevant from what their college degree was. And I think a lot of that has to do with things I've talked about in previous videos with the whole college concept. I think a lot of these kids are pushed into college nowadays because that's just the thing you do. I remember when I was in high school, you either went to college or you were just not going to be able to do anything, and that's simply just not the case, especially in today's age with YouTube and everything else we got going on with how much knowledge is at your fingertips. But it's crazy to hear how many people are spending all this money and getting racked up into debt to not even use their college degree. I think a lot of that also has to do with, though, the degrees some of these people are choosing to get. They're worthless.
I work Wednesday to Sunday, doubling just to pay my bills. At 22 years old, all of my bills are in my name. I have no help. How are y'all affording housing? In Myrtle Beach, a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,500. Bullshit. How are y'all getting insurance, going to the doctor, getting medicine? And then some of us are trying to be TikTok influencers. Who knows where that's going to get me? Me and my boyfriend are saving, but we barely see each other during the week, and it feels like we're working our asses off for nothing. Do we need to move somewhere for a better job opportunity that we don't know about?
Hey, that's not a bad idea there, girl. I'm a big believer in saying if you're living in an expensive area where it's expensive, move. I get it. It's not the easiest decision to make to just pick up your life and move, but it can be done. And I will say this, and as a Midwest boy who has traveled around the United States, I still think the Midwest has so much to offer. Now, I think there's lower cost of living, the culture, Midwest culture, if you can say that, or the people there are amazing. And there's a lot of upcoming cities in the Midwest area that are a lot less expensive to live in versus the East and West Coasts. So, just a thought.
Do any of y'all really know what you want to do with your life right now? It is so scary being in America right now. If you can relate to this, if you have any advice, please comment and let me know. It's ridiculous.
Here's my thing about that real quick, and then we'll get into this next one. This next one's crazy. I think a lot of people need to also, I would love to look into this girl's spending habits and see where exactly that money is going. Now, don't get me wrong. Luxuries, vacations, a lot of this stuff a lot of people want to do right now just simply can't happen. I mean, it just can't. You have to first get your lights, keep your lights on, keep the water running, get your groceries purchased, and pay for your shelter, your roof over your head. Get those done, and you're good. We may be going through some tough times right now. I understand that, but the biggest part is just surviving first. There's been generations before us that have had to do this, during the Great Depression. I'm not saying we're in a Great Depression, but I am saying we are in a very high cost of living time frame right now for buying homes, for everything. But I will say, a lot of people do need to watch their spending and spending habits with the current environment we're in.
This man reveals the true food inflation by comparing prices with the price tags on photos he took a year ago.
Yo, homeboy took photos of items he purchased and what it costs and is comparing it to now. This will blow your mind.
Here on Costco here, and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these madras
Look at that.
lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding me. Let's look at what else we got going on here. We literally bought this chicken broth, $5.69, 2 months ago.
Yo, look at that. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise doubled in price. Since when, oh my gosh. A 100% increase in mayonnaise prices. 100% at Costco. Come on now. Jeez.
Dang, this is the flour we were buying for $5.99 last year.
Insane.
The government has its own math that they manipulate in a dodgy way.
Does anyone else feel like they're absolutely fucking drowning financially?
I'm glad you asked.
Yo, this one's so funny. Just, I'm not even gonna say anything. Just watch this.
And it's not dark just because it's nighttime. Oh no. It's dark because I have no electricity in my crib right now. And no, I'm not joking. I am not joking at all. So, I definitely feel the
Homeboy's keeping it real.
struggle, Not joking. See that? It's 59 degrees up in this motherfucker. Oh, if you don't
Hey, I would rather be cold than hot inside of a house. I will say that.
laugh, you'll cry. But I've already done the crying, so I'm at a point of laughing. I make $27 an hour. I make too much to qualify for any rental assistance, electricity assistance, and I never get sick. I think I'm just getting sick because the stress is causing my immune system to deplete. But it's alright, I'm a grown-ass man. I'll get it taken care of, don't worry.
That's right, dude. I like that. I like that ending. That's the best way to be and the best mindset to have when we're dealing with crap like this. But damn, dude, like that sucks. Like the lights got turned off. Oh man, but like he said, like there's just got to be smart decisions to be made financially by a lot of people. And with times being tough, this is where you really have to hone in on those smart decisions you're making. And really, it just comes down to don't spend more than you make. I mean, I know it sounds like, oh, of course, that's easier said than done, but a lot of people really don't do that. You got to track every dollar you are spending. Create a budget. Follow it religiously. It's the only way you're going to get through these tough times.
Anyone noticed that it's literally becoming impossible to live a normal life because of the inflation that's going on? Literally, our rent payment used to be $800. 2 bedroom, 2 full bath. $1,400.
Damn. That's pretty aggressive increase if it's the same house this guy's living in. And he's in Kentucky, like not even a super expensive area. I mean, I've owned my rental properties since 2019. That's 5 years, and I haven't had that big of an increase in my rents. But yeah, that is crazy to hear rent has increased that much.
$1,400. $1,400. $1,400 is what we pay now. Used to be $800 just a few years ago, and now it's $1,400. Go figure. My auto insurance gone up 28%.
Yo, auto insurance is crushing everyone right now. I'm shopping new insurance with me moving back home to Missouri. It's gonna be cheaper here in Florida, but it's still way more expensive than it used to be.
Again, go figure. Inflation. Now the icing on the cake, I feel like I go to the grocery store. Okay, I go to Kroger. I feel like I go in there with $100 and I come out with a gallon of milk and 2 pieces of toast.
Yeah, I feel you, brother.
And not even the good pieces of toast. Like the end pieces. That's what I go.
The heels. No one likes the heels. Toss them. Are we in times? Oh shit! Are we in times now where we're gonna have to use the heels for our sandwiches? Cause we gotta get every last piece of bread. Oh shit!
Come out with it is dumb. What is going on? How has inflation affected you guys? Because again, the rent used to be $800. Now it's $1,400. $300 electric bill. Like seriously, guys. Like this is stupid. This is what's been going on in America. Inflation.
So if you're thinking about having kids in this economy, think again. You literally
Is what $72 got me. Let's see what she got.
have to go back to work minus 2 minutes after having the baby, because this right here cost me $70.
No way.
Plus I got a bone broth mixed sock paste. $72.
What?
The grapes were $35. 3 bananas, he's already eaten one. What?
Yo, $32 for grapes? Get out of here, lady. There's no way. Unless Australia, if that's where she's from, that's what it sounds like. $32 for grapes? I ain't eating them. I'm not eating grapes. Yo, what?
Is going on? What is going on? And yes, I was aware of the price before I paid for them, and I will never not buy fruit for my kid. Looks like we're buying frozen blueberries.
Yo, sorry, but I am not feeding my kids $32 grapes. Oh my god. Yo, that's nuts. Yo, props to this mom. She loves her kids, but I don't know.
Now what?
3,000 every single.
Ugh, I hate this. I hate seeing this. Now, I hope she's joking, but obviously I don't want anybody to kill themselves over financial reasons, but man. Yo, it's tough out there right now, peeps. It is. It is tough out there right now. Damn. And here's the thing, like, I mean, if you're watching and you're not 22, 23 years old, you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, it's still hard. It still sucks. I know going to the groceries with kids, like, you get nothing right now. And seeing this and hearing this, and, like, it's crazy to think about how many people this is happening to every day. Barely getting by, living paycheck to paycheck, if they can even do that. And usually I would be the guy that says, like, oh, you got to fix your financial issues, which there is, I'm sure, some of it that could be improved. And that's like one of the reasons why I've started this YouTube channel, is to help everyone out there that I can reach on maybe hopefully getting by a little better. But it does take work. It's like a diet plan. It's like exercising. You got to work your way into it, and you got to figure out a way to stick with it to make it worth it. But man, I hate seeing this.
I literally can't even live in.
Yo, what was that?
Okay.
Hang on.
Car payment. Well, mine's $600 a fucking month. Times a year. So out of all that money, let's say I've got $30,000 to fucking work with, right? Okay, what about a car payment? Well, mine's $600 a fucking month. Times 12.
Yeah, see, like, a $600 car payment, like, gotta come down just a little bit on that. A lot. Like, my thing is, like, you don't have to buy that expensive of a car. Like, you gotta drive a beater until you can get a little farther ahead to afford that nicer car. Like, little things like that, it all adds up. It does. It really does add up.
I have never, thought about that. But, how do you fucking survive here? How do you do it?
Please tell me why I just went through McDonald's to get a Diet Coke.
Yo. What's supposed to be our last saving grace. Come on, McDonald's. The dollar menu is not even a thing anymore. Remember your late night drive-thrus? You're partying with the boys for too long. You're like, all right, it's either McDonald's, Jack in the Box, or Taco Bell. Where are we going? Everybody fighting where we go. Can't beat some salty French fries after a long day of drinking. Damn, McDonald's.
And I was on the phone with my husband while I was ordering, and he's like, wait, you're at McDonald's? Get a filet-o-fish sandwich. He's like, get me two. It's Friday and Lent at McDonald's. We're like, great, I'll just eat that for lunch, and then we'll make something else for dinner. So whatever. I order 3 filet of fishes in a separate order because she wouldn't let me add it on to my Diet Coke order. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. It pissed me off. Pull around, order 3 filet of fishes, not the meal, just the sandwich. She clarified. She said, the sandwich or the meal? And I said, just the sandwich. And she said, 3 of them? I said, yes. Tell me why it was $17 for 3 filet of fishes on Friday during Lent at McDonald's. I'm not crazy. I sat there and blinked my eyes, and then I just pulled away because I was so angry, which probably was rude, but like $17 for 3 filet of fishes.
Yo, that's like $5.50 a sandwich. Oh my gosh, more than that.
McDonald's? Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna tell you how we are here in the United States of America. You know you're in the United States of America when you can buy this little amount of food and it costs you what it just cost me. I bought a bottle of coconut water, 2 things of mangoes, 2 things of blackberries, 2 things of raspberries, a thing
Yo, bro eats healthy.
of blueberries, some seaweed, and some seeded grapes for $70. What's really sickening about that?
Yo, hold up though. If Australian chick was buying all this, it would have been $400. I gotta figure that out. I don't know what's going on with that. That's crazy.
That right there is that is an extremely healthy diet, and it cost me $70 here in the United States of America. For that same $70, you could fill that whole table up with toxic processed chemicals in bags, boxes,
Oh,
and
I hate
cans.
that.
Welcome to the new America.
Gosh dang, guys. Yo, what the hell is going on? I hate it. I do. I hate this. I hate seeing it. I hate living through it. I hate having to blow my money on groceries and everything else. Like, when does this end? But I will say this. I don't know when inflation's never gonna stop. I hate to say that, but I don't know when inflation will slow down more. I hope we don't see an uptick like we may have been seeing in the near future. But if anything, what needs to happen is all of you out there, all of you, have to watch your finances. You have to. We're living in a time now, guys, where you have to understand you can't just let it happen. You can't just let money happen to you. Like, you have to take control of your finances. No one is coming to save you. No one. You're your own man, you're your own woman, you make your own decisions. You know the spot you're in, you got yourself in there financially, you're the one that has to figure out a way out. The best way to do that, to start, number one process, is to get some money in your savings account for an emergency fund, rainy day. Start a budget. Start tracking your spending, tracking your expenses. Every single dollar needs to be tracked. Figuring out where you're spending money that's wasteful spending, and figure out money that needs to go to keep the lights on, water running, roof over your head, whatever that may be. And you got to work your way into figuring out where can I take spending out to put towards savings or whatever it may be, or to get me back to, ground zero, break even. It's tough times right now, people. So maybe this should have been a beer for today's video. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that in the next one. But until the next one, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's all I got. Cheers.